Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, what a difference 2 months makes. This is how it started for Jenna Ellis with her wide grin and her Georgia mugshot. This was back in August. This is how it's ending in tears, taking a plea deal. The elite strike force, quote unquote, attorney for Donald Trump has now admitted to a felony charge of aiding and abetting false statements and writings. In her plea hearing this morning, Ellis started to cry as she was reading her prepared statement. And she said, quote, "As an attorney who is also a Christian, I take my responsibilities as a lawyer very seriously, and I endeavor to be a person of sound moral and ethical character in all of my dealings." Yeah. If you've seen her Twitter profile and her Twitter thread, yeah, not so much. She went on to say that she, quote, failed to do her due diligence. And Ellis said, "If I knew what I knew now, I would have declined to represent Donald Trump in post-election challenges. I look back on this whole experience with deep remorse." Well, one of the prosecutors told the court that Ellis should have known and that she intentionally ignored the truth. The prosecutor said that Ellis, quote, "false statements were made with reckless disregard of the truth and with conspicuous disregard of the truth and with conspicuous purpose to avoid learning the truth." So Ellis is now the fourth of the 19 co-defendants in the Georgia RICO case to admit to committing crimes related to Trump's attempted coup. And as with Kenneth Chesebro, people are telling me now it's Chesebro. I like Cheesebro. It's more fun. I like the cheese and Kraken. I'm sorry. Anyway, also as with Sydney released the Kraken Powell, Ellis will get no jail time. As a punishment, she's being sentenced to 5 years of probation, $5,000 in restitution, 100 hours of community service, an apology letter to Georgia residents, which she's already written. And then Ellis is also required to testify, as with the others, in upcoming trials of the co-defendants. And she has to provide recorded statements and affidavits to the Fulton County DA's office. She also has to relinquish all requested documents, any other evidence in her possession. And Ellis appears to have more vital information to share than Cheesebro, because as with Sidney Powell, Ellis has been barred from communicating with her co-defendants or the media until all of these cases are settled. The plea deal even mentions that she is prohibited from posting about the case on social media. And it says that she can't have others post on her behalf either. Now, that wasn't applied to Chesebro. So there's something going on with Powell and with Ellis. It makes you think, and I've heard some attorneys talking about this as well, there is something that if it gets out, it could damage the cases against other people. So I don't know if maybe they could get rid of evidence or what, but we'll see. And an attorney for Trump tried to spin this. He tried to undermine the credibility of this case. It's attorney Steve Sato, I think is how you pronounce it, Sato or Sato. He released a statement saying, quote, "For the fourth time, Fani Willis and her prosecution team have dismissed the RICO charge in return for a plea to probation. What that shows is this so-called RICO case is nothing more than a bargaining chip for Willis. Moreover, this plea was to a completely separate charge, not a part of the original indictment, which doesn't even mention President Trump." First of all, he's not president. Really never was. I mean, in the greatest sense of the word. But second, that is the most asinine thing I've ever heard. So she committed this crime on her own behalf? I mean, who did the crime benefit, Steve? Tell me that. Riddle me that. Batman. This reminds me of the recent plea deal that was taken by George Santos' campaign finance manager. Santos tried to play it off as some employee who went rogue, as if it had nothing to do with him, right? Oh, this is all on her. She's the one in trouble, not me. And then what happened? Several days later, he was hit with a 23-count superseding indictment based on crimes that she admitted to committing with him. Seriously, this guy is ridiculous. So because they're taking pleas, oh, it has nothing to do with Trump. Who was the crime about? Who did they commit crimes for? That's like saying that Michael Cohen went to prison just for his own crimes, just because he decided on his own to pay hush money to a porn star. Had nothing to do with Trump having sex with her behind his wife's back right after she had a baby. But, anyway, the person who should be really concerned about all of this right now, though, is Rudy Giuliani. Like, first and foremost, because Powell and Ellis spent the most time with him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Giuliani flip next because of the pressure that their plea deals are placing directly on him in his case. And he has federal charges that he still needs to worry about, in addition to an avalanche of lawsuits against him, because I very much believe that Jack Smith is still planning on bringing charges against all of Trump's unindicted co-conspirators if something doesn't shake loose. And then Rudy, who's he going to give up? Trump and Meadows, right? And if he doesn't, he's going to spend the rest of his miserable life behind bars. So better get to getting, Rudy. Rudy, you in danger, girl. That's all I got to say. All right, everybody. This is more good news. I'll keep you posted, let you know when I hear more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with everyone you know, become a subscriber if you have not, become a donor if you possibly can, or leave a tip or a super thanks, depending on what platform you're on. Really helps to keep the show going. I so appreciate it. Love you all so much. Take care. Talk with you soon.